Hello, students, and thank you for coming with me in this journey of learning about the different tools that Wiccans and witches, shamans, and other spirituals use in their work. Today, obviously, we're going to talk about candles and incense, the most common and versatile tool that you're likely to use in your magical practice. Candles play a role in lots of rituals and spells. They also brighten many of our secular and religious celebrations. The concept of illumination carries both a practical meaning, visible light that enables you to see to conduct your daily tasks, and also an esoteric one, an inspiration or an awakening that enlives mundane existence and expands understanding. The flame represents the element of fire, inspiration, clarity, passion, activity, energy, and purification. It can also signify the spirit. You can use candles to set the stage for magic because of their soft and flickering glow transports the spell worker into another level of awareness. You can gaze into a candle's flame to see beyond the ordinary limits of vision, even the past and the future, if you have the ability. Many witches and other magicians use candles to tap color relationships in spellwork. Burning a candle of relevant color can augment a spell or ritual. Dressing or anointing your candles with essential oils adds another sensory dimension. Please make sure that you read about spells like this because it can be quite powerful. As you evolve in your work as a spellcaster, you'll probably want to stock up on candles on various colors, sizes, and shapes, tapers for creating moods, and pillars for long-term spells, votives for short spell rituals and circle casting, and so on. Some witches like to make their own candles, blending the wax with herbs and flowers, essential oils, and dyes that represent their intentions. You can even form candle wax into shapes that signify your objectives. Now, let me tell you a little bit about incense. For thousands of years, aromatic gums and resins have been used in sacred rituals. Ancient Chinese and Indian texts describe the therapeutic, philosophical, and spiritual properties of aromatics. Churches and temples use incense to clear the air and to honor deities. And I see that the word incense is misspelled. I apologize. in Buddhist belief, burning an offering of incense invites the Buddha into a statue of the holy being. Incense also serves as a vehicle for conveying prayers to the spirit world. As the smoke rises, it carries your request along with it. So we know that aromas trigger instantaneous reactions in the brain. Inhaling certain smells can cause responses involving memory and emotion, also awareness, and much more. And that's one reason why magical workers include scents into spells. Burning incense combines two elements, the fire and the air, and you can use it to cast a circle by walking the perimeter and trailing the fragrant smoke behind you. For balance, walk the circle a second time while sprinkling salt water to represent the elements of earth and water. You can also charge talismans and amulets and other magical tools with incense by holding them into the smoke for a few moments. Many witches purify a sacred space with incense. Sage is the most frequently used herb for this purpose, but you can burn pine and sandalwood, eucalyptus, or another scent if you prefer. The best incense is blend from pure gums and resins without synthetic binders. You can even make your own by grinding out aromatic wood or resin with a mortar and pestle or a coffee grinder. Choose a scent that matches your intentions. Now we can talk a little bit more about essential oils, but just to let you know that aromatic oils enhance your sensory experience during a spell or ritual. These plant extracts contain the life energy of the plant and its unique signature and soul essence. So unlike a commercial fragrance, they do not include synthetic ingredients in their composition. You can use essential oils to dress candles and anoint talismans and amulets, charge magic tools. Use caution, however, because some oils can cause allergic reactions like we explained the other day, and others are toxic if you ingest them. Now let's talk about this beautiful tool which is called the Cauldron. According to Norse mythology, the god Odin received wisdom and the gift of intuition from a cauldron. Celtic legend mentions a cauldron as the tool of regeneration for the gods, and artists often depict the Irish creativity goddess Bridget stirring a cauldron. Stories such as these give us clues to the symbolic value of the cauldron today. Its shape represents the womb from which all life flows, and its three legs represent the threefold nature of the human existence: the body, the mind, and the spirit. The cauldron performs both symbolic and practical functions. You can use a cauldron to cook ritual foods and to concoct magic potions. It also serves as a handy vessel for holding water, flowers, or other items at a ceremonial ritual. If you like, you can build a fire inside your cauldron and drop wishes written on paper into the flames. The cauldron's creativity qualities, wishes, and nurture your requests and bring them to fruition. Build your fire of sacred woods that pertain to your purpose: cedar for prosperity, ash for protection, and apple for love. Although usually iron, a cauldron can be made of any fireproof material, including copper, steel, or terracotta. You can even draw an ordinary cooking pot into a duty if need to be. I love the spell bottles, don't you? A spell or witch bottles contain items with similar energies brought together for a specific intention. Depending on your purpose, the bottle can be a temporary or a permanent fixture. Select a glass bottle that is large enough to hold all the ingredients you plan to put in it, then wash it and dry to remove any unwanted energies. Make sure all the ingredients correspond to your objective. Add botanical, gemstones, coins, milagros, shells, or anything else that symbolizes your intuition. You may wish to write an affirmation or sigil on a slip of paper. Roll the paper into a scroll and then put it into a bottle too. When you're certain you've included everything you need for your spell, close the lid and seal the bottle with wax dripped from a candle that you designated as part of your spell. You may choose to place your mark on the wax seal or decorate the outside of the bottle with symbols, words like you see in the picture, images, or ribbons that relate to your spell. You can place the bottle on your altar or in another spot in your home or business, depending on its purpose. If you prefer, bury the bottle in a special place. Spell bottles also make great gifts like the ones that you see here. Personalize them with good wishes for friends who won't think you're too weird. Now let's talk about other tools in the tray, and it's called sometimes accoutrement. What else might you want to put into your magic chest? Well, anything that you feel adds to your craft as a spellcaster. If wearing elegant ritual clothing enhances your sense of power and makes you feel part of another dimension, by all means dress up. If music elevates your mood or takes you into another place emotionally, play your favorite CD or instrument if you have musical talent. Before, we have mentioned the tarot. These beautiful cards typically contain 4 suits that correspond to the 4 major tools we talked about at the beginning of this module, and each of the 78 cards in a tarot deck had a special meaning based on a suit, number, color, and many other things. You can lay out patterns of cards known as spreads for divination purposes, or you can use a single card in a spell. Now, as you can see in the picture here, we have runes. The word rune means secret or mystery. Most people think of the early Norse alphabet when they hear the word rune. If you're a fan of J.R.R. Tolkien's books, you already heard about runes. The most popular alphabet contains 24 letters, and each letter is named for an animal, object, condition, or deity. They also convey a deeper meaning that you can tap in spell work, as you'll soon see. You may also enjoy working with Ogham runes. These 20 letters might also enjoy working with an old Celtic alphabet correspond to different trees, and like Norse runes, they hold secret meanings. The letters are composed of lines or notches, cut along a central line or stave. A phrase written in Ogham looks like a tree limb with branches sprouting from it. You can cast runes made of wood, stone, ceramic, for divination purposes, or you choose your individual runes from spellwork. Other oracles are pendulums. As you can see, pendulums consist of small weights such as a crystal hung from a short chain or cord, and you hold the chain, you letting the pendulum dangle at the end of it while you ask a simple question. The pendulum's movement back and forth, side to side, around and around, has meaning and answers your question. The pendulum swings on its own accord, so you don't influence its movement. When you use a pendulum, this is called dowsing. Most people think of dowsing as searching for water hidden underground, but that's only one method. When you consult a pendulum for the purpose of divination, you're searching for answers hidden deep within. Now let's talk about ribbons and ropes. I'm a big fan of knot magic, and I recommend using ribbons and ropes for all the spells that we have in part 2. When you tie a knot, you capture the mental and emotional energy present at the time in the knot, and hold that energy there until you're ready. Ancient mariners tried to win into knots, and they were become at sea. They opened the knots to release the wind and continue on their way. Just in medicine bags, and your magic stays inside. Magic cords can also tie people together in a personal-professional relationship. If you believe an enemy is trying to harm you, you can bind that person's spirit by symbolically tying up him, her, or it with rope. A quick study of numerology will reveal the significance of numbers in spellworking and help you determine how many knots you'll need to tie in order to support your intentions. For example, 2 for love or 4 for security. And finally, let's talk about drums. Drums make joyful noise, and rattles serve various purposes in magical work. They raise energy. They break up blockages and stimulate sluggish conditions. They send messages far and wide. They can induce trances, and they unify the minds and emotions of a group of people who choose to work together. They connect you with the spirit realm and much more. Bells can also signal steps in a ritual. Bells and wind chimes also disperse unwanted energies and inspire harmony. Singing bowls help to balance the body's energy centers or chakras, and they also calm and focus your mind and connect you with higher levels of being. And finally, the most sought tool of all, which is called the Grimoire. A Grimoire, a book of shadows, is a witch's collection of magic recipes, spells, charms, invocations, and rituals. Here's where you keep a record of the magic you perform, the ingredients and tools you use, the potions, the formulae, and incantations you create, and of course the results you generate. It's also a good idea to date each entry and note whatever else you consider significant, such as the moon's phase, your feelings, and anyone who participated in the spell or ritual with you. Many people prefer physical books for this purpose. The more ornate the better, but you can keep a computer version of the grimoire if you choose. You might want to take a look online at some of the most beautiful grimoires from medieval Europe, and even as far back as ancient Babylonia. Pretty much anything can become a magical instrument if you deem it so. Use what you consider necessary and what feels right to you. Over time, you may wish to add other tools to your collection or to devise your own. Remember to treat your tools with respect. When not in use, place them in a safe spot where they won't get damaged or handled by other people. This is extremely important. You may wish to wrap them in silk or store them in a pretty box to protect them from ambient vibrations as well as ordinary dust and dirt. With proper care, this will last a long time and all serve you well.